This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports. We're here at the Fela Fight Night. Delighted to be joined. I think it's been a good while, Iain, since we've had a chat, but obviously I know it's been quite a busy time for obviously the stable. Obviously you had Anto and Willow out on the SSE, and you've obviously added more layers obviously to the stable now as well. Obviously Dominic Donegan and James Freeman in the stable as well. Busy times.
Yeah, it's been a real busy time and kind of riding a bit of a crest of a wave now at the minute. There's a good buzz around the gym, good buzz around the lads. It was a good night in Belfast for the lads, and then a few weeks later we had Rudy in Spain, and then that's when I was approached then about Dominic. Dominic was training on his own, and I was asked by their manager would I look after him when he's out there. So that's kind of how the relationship with Dominic then came around, and then subsequently off that came James then as well. So yeah, it's going good. They've all had good wins. That's 2 wins on the bounce with Dominic in that time frame as well, and now James has got a wee win under his belt as well. So it's been a good few months. Isn't
boxing crazy sometimes? Obviously I remember you starting off with Anto, and obviously when obviously training someone like Anto, it's going to open doors, but obviously going out with Rudy to Spain and you got another opportunity, one and one turns into two, and you're going like, what time do I have to myself here now? Because you obviously still the amateurs and things like that and the gym as well, but I guess the more busy you are, the more you can get yourself seen. That's obviously your job as a coach, to let people know who you are and what you're about. The more fighters you have, the better it is for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not one of them. I'm all about the fighters, like you know that yourself. So all this getting in front of the camera was never really what it was about for me. I
remember when we done the first one, I was like, come on, let's do one.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand that it's part of the business and stuff now. Quality over quantity. I'm like a resurrector, someone said, because I've kind of got a couple of boys who are kind of maybe told careers over or not really far to go, and I've been able to turn them around. So I know maybe with Anto at the start everyone kind of thought it's a bit of a fluke and whatever, and people make remarks about coaches and getting fighters and whatever, but I think the mark of a coach is a mark of a good coach as well, is that if you can bring someone kind of in the positions that everyone's looking at them whether he's done no more, and you can turn them around and get them to show something a bit more and change them. It's not about getting in front of these things for me, it's enhancing and changing lives and changing wee opportunities for these guys, really, in a nutshell. And I'm privileged and honoured to be on the stages that I'm on with them, and as it's quality over quantity. I'm happy with the workload, and it proves that the system isn't a fluke, you know what I mean? So
I've seen firsthand obviously what it's done with Anto. Obviously you've got him back enjoying boxing again. Yeah. Obviously as you say with Dominic and obviously with Rudy, there's sort of like it's being able to fine tune them backwards sort of in some aspects of it, and obviously trying to see what makes them tick. And James obviously is naturally sort of raw in the fact that you probably maybe have to learn on him things, but it's something different for you. But I guess Anto obviously is away in Italy at the moment, sunning himself up. You obviously want to get him back out again, but I think for Rudy and Dominic, they're obviously maybe looking at title fights potentially next as well. So busy times for the stable.
I mean, there's all the talk that goes on social media, and a lot of people sometimes know more than others. 2 title fights were announced that none of us even had a clue about, really. Rudy's obviously went and he's became a dad and is enjoying fatherhood at the minute, which is good. He'll be back in the gym, hopefully, all being well, next week was to the plan. Anto's in Italy there at the minute, yes. Dominic, we're looking at a title fight, but again, when the time's right and when the confidence is instilled in them that if I have to go into the trenches here, I can do it, and just different areas. So with different lads, I'm in no mad rush to push any of them. I know there's a couple of people on the case with Rudy and Dominic, but Rudy, for instance, has fought 4 rounds, and then prior to that he didn't box for a year. So if we're being realistic, I would like to see Rudy, and I've said this openly, I would like to see Rudy out in at least 2 6-rounders. It's common sense before throwing in, and they've no problem taking risks, but when the risks suit both parties and not kind of
one or the other.
Others, but as well with Dominic too. Dominic's still in a bedding in period, so we had the fight in Spain, which kind of just went off. I'd met him 24 hours prior, and we just talked boxing. I got to know him, kind of tried to figure out what made him tick, and the tactics for that fight were simple. The one in Wales was the same. Obviously it was hard to get up and go for it. He had fought him before and it kind of gone through the motions, but there's still a bedding in period, and I mean there's loads of dates over the next period of months where Dom and Graham or Fergus or whoever everyone's naming No reason why they can't be on the big cards. But again, it's common sense. Dom was last chance saloon with a lot of people. He's done, he's finished. So when I feel the time's right and to put Dominic to go again for a title, we'll go. It'll not be pushed or rushed or hurried on, because at the end of the day, it's not us. It's not the guys behind the camera or the guy. There's two guys in there getting hit. One guy's career ends if the fight goes the wrong way. So I mean, it has to make sense in all aspects, and especially too financially for them as well. We're gonna, if they go in and fight 10 rounds for a Celtic title, there's pittance in it and someone's career's over.
I was going to touch now the fact, obviously, with Rudy and obviously with Dom, obviously they're relatively new in this day. We don't really, them obviously having a bit of laugh and a joke in the gym and everything else, and watching them. But you need a time to make sure that you're happy. If obviously the thing go wrong in a fight, that that you're in control, because that's your most important job, the safety of your fighter.
Yeah.
So you need a bit of time to know them before. Does that make it hard for you, I guess? Obviously it's something you probably haven't been used to. You've known Anto's always been ready, and obviously the pedigree Willow's have when you've sort of taken them on. But for obviously people like Rudy and Dominic, you need a bit of time more to adjust with them before you can put them into a situation like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all try and find their strengths. I mean, coaches in our position, you do your homework and you look at fighters in the good and the bad, and see always, even in the bad, what they're doing good. Like, identify their strengths, and that's kind of the way I go about it with them. Identify their strengths and then build them around it. Try and build them around their strong point. Rudy, I think, we've talked about this before, it's still talked about, shocked a lot of people when he was put in for his Celtic title fight, and he went into that ill prepared. I only met him a week and a half before, so I mean, with the right preparation, it's consistency really for the boys. With the right preparation, the right training, and when the timing's right, why not? Absolutely. I'm confident in both Rudy and Dom to lift the Celtic title, and maybe a few other titles on down the line. But I mean, both of them, their goals are realistic. They're not coming in saying they want to be pound for pound undisputed. Their goals are realistic, and it's good. And it's good. They're realistic, two realistic lads, and as I say, hard working. But again, it's a consistency, confidence building, a wee bit of self-worth about themselves. Because we all know what the game's like and whatever. So if it's last chance saloon for maybe one or two of them, go in and ready to grab the opportunity with both hands, and rather than get in half prepared and having to sit now with the conversations they have with themselves. Should have done this more, I knew what, do you know what I mean? So it's just ticking all the boxes this time before we go in.
I just wanted to sort of finally touch on, obviously, I guess, the last year or so has been sort of a bit crazy in some ways. Obviously Wembley Arena, obviously with Anto, supposed to be at the start of last year. Obviously then the SSE, Manchester Arena, wasn't it, as well? So Falls Park, obviously here tonight. Like, boxing takes you in some crazy places. You're in Wales and Spain.
Yeah.
Do you sort of look at it and go, where's the craziest place we can sort of get a fight somewhere? Do you sort of look to that, or you just take every opportunity as it sort of comes?
Take every sort of opportunity as it comes. I mean, really, any ambitions, even from when I used to box, any ambitions I ever had in boxing, everyone dreams of being a world champion. No one ever thinks of having one, so I was no different. But I took every opportunity as it came. We kept chipping away, and opportunities do come. Again, I like to try and be realistic about things, and it's good to visualise and have goals set, but I know I'd never try and get in over above my head of, be here, be there. It's realistic and just one step at a time.
Well, listen, we'll let you go and enjoy the rest of the fight card. We'll hopefully catch up with you soon, Anto back home. Hopefully get him and Willow obviously back out again, and hopefully before the end of the year, and I guess all the other lads going as well. But thanks as always for your time, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you soon.
No worries, thank you.